everybody. Today I'm going to review RIDGID's brand new Gen5X brushless 7¼ inch circular saw. Now this is part of their 18 volt lineup. It's brand new and I picked it up last week as part of one of their Black Friday specials. They had this and then the hammer drill as a combo. And what we're going to do in this video is focus solely on the circular saw. This is model R8653 and it's a brand new addition to the Gen5X lineup. Previously I did review the R8652, which features a brushed motor. However, this one features the upgraded brushless motor, meaning that it's going to be much more efficient and it's going to have longer run times. So what I want to do in this video is go over the different features that they have built into this. We're going to look at it side by side with the standard Gen5X model, and then we're going to see how it actually performs. Here's a closer look at the saw, and I do want to point out that the dark orange portion you see is a very hard plastic. The gray portion around the entire grip, as well as around the body, is going to be a softer rubber overmold. Now they do have two different places to hold the saw. We have the standard grip here with the switch, and then on the front of the motor housing they have a place for your other hand to give you excellent stability as you're using this. They also have it set up with a right hand blade orientation. Unlike a larger worm drive saw, or one of the smaller 6½ inch cordless circular saws, they would have the blade on the opposite side set up for a left-hand blade orientation. The other thing I want to point out is going to be the battery. It is going to be on a slide rail system. You can remove and install it very easily, and as soon as you click it into place, the saw is going to be ready to go. For angled cuts, you can have up to a 56-degree bevel. By taking this tab, rotating it over, you can easily change the angle of your blade. Then you'll just take that same tab, twist it back the other way to lock everything down. Now at this point, you can go ahead and make your angled cut. And then to set it back to 0 degrees, it's as simple as turning that tab, rotating it back up, and locking it back into place. Setting the depth of your cut is also going to be very easy to do using this lever directly behind the motor. Now if you notice, it's also directly beside the battery and it's on the opposite side as the blade. What we'll do is just lift that up, it's going to release the tension, then we can set our correct depth, go ahead and lock that back down, and we'd be ready to go. Now once you're done, all you'll need to do is just go ahead and lift up on that again, put it back down against the base, and then lock it back in place. Probably the hardest thing to get used to with any cordless circular saw is the safety switch they have built in just above the trigger. Now with a standard corded variety, you can plug it in the wall, and then when you pull the trigger, it's going to activate. However, with the cordless variety, that's not the case. What you have to do is actually press the safety switch down and then pull on the trigger in order to activate it. But the good news is, once you do that, you can release the safety mechanism and it will continue to run. Now this is also going to be ambidextrous, so whether you're left or right-handed, you can see the little tab. If we press that down, both sides are going to move at the same time. All you'll need to do is press it down, pull it on the trigger, and then release, and then you can get to cutting. Here's a closer look at the new brushless circular saw compared to the standard Gen5X model. And as far as the construction of them and the color scheme and operation, they are going to look pretty much identical. The weight is going to be almost identical, and there are only a few subtle differences between the two. Now one thing that some people may not like about the brushed model or the new brushless model is going to be the blade guard. Now the top portion of it is made out of metal, and it does have the side eject port on both models. However, the retractable portion that covers up the blade on the bottom is made out of plastic, and if you drop this or set it down hard, that would run the risk of cracking. Now because RIDGID does cover all of their power tools with a lifetime service agreement, if you do accidentally break that or it just wears out over time, it shouldn't be a problem getting a replacement. But do keep in mind that retractable blade guard is not made out of metal. As far as the different design upgrades, number one, the new one is going to have the brushless motor, which is going to be more efficient, and it is going to have longer run times. Aside from that, it's also going to spin faster, coming in at 3,800 RPMs, where the brush model's coming in at 3,700 RPMs. And the other very noticeable difference between the brushed model and the brand new brushless model is the fact of the LED light. With the current brushed model, when you activate the light, as soon as you release the trigger, it is automatically going to cut back off. Where the new brushless model does have a time delay. When you release its trigger, the light's going to stay on for an additional 10 seconds. In a low light situation is where that LED light on the front is really going to help, because you'll be able to see your cut lines perfectly. Now what we'll do is go ahead and zoom in on this, then cut down one of the lines that I've drawn on the 2x4 so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So when we set the saw down and just try to line it up, that line can be very hard to see, but when we activate the LED light, everything's going to be lit up and we can make our cut very easily. Keep in mind that there are two different ways to activate the LED light. Number one, anytime you press it on the trigger, turning on the saw and you see the blade moving, the light is going to be on the entire time. But let's say you want to just turn the LED light on by itself, they have a separate switch at the base of the grip. Now this is basically an almost flush mount trigger. It's specifically for turning on the LED light. And when you press that in, you can see the light is going to turn on without activating the saw. Now let's go ahead and do some runtime testing with it to see how it actually performs. Now using a fresh blade and a fully charged 4 amp hour battery pack, we're going to see how many cuts we can get through standard 2x4s on just one charge. And 12 cuts through a standard 2x4 on just one charge. Now using a fresh blade and a fully charged 4 amp hour battery pack, we're going to see how many cuts through standard 7/16 OSB we can get done on just one charge. Cuts through 7/16 OSB, or 396 linear feet on just one battery charge. So now you've seen RIDGID's brand new Gen 5X 7 1/4 inch brushless circular saw for yourself. Now keep in mind the size, weight, and feel of this is pretty much identical to the standard Gen5X model. But because this does have the upgraded brushless motor, it means that it's much more efficient and we got a lot longer run times. Now through the 2x4s on one 4 amp hour charge, we were able to get 312 cuts. And then through the 7/16 OSB, we got 99 cuts. So out of any 7 1/4 inch 18 volt saw, this now has the longest run times across the board. Now in addition to that, because it is a RIDGID power tool, it will qualify for their lifetime service agreement. And as long as you register it within 90 days of buying it, what you're going to qualify for is free parts, free batteries, and free service for life. If you like this video, please click like. If you like my channel, please click subscribe. And thanks for watching.